but what I do know is that it was a bloody good film. Hello and welcome to this brand new mini-series here on the ScareTrack YouTube channel. My name is Mikey and this is episode 1 of ScareTrack movie reviews. Now before we go into today's review, which is all about the 2019 film Haunt, a few announcements about the ScareTrack YouTube channel, ScareTrack as a whole, and this mini-series. So, first of all, ScareTrack. If you are new to the channel, thank you for joining us. ScareTrack is the UK's first podcast dedicated to the scare attraction and haunted house industry. We also do Scarecam vlogs, and now we are doing ScareTrack movie reviews. You can check everything out over on our website, www.scaretrack.co.uk. So, a few points about this new series here on the ScareTrack YouTube channel. ScareTrack movie reviews. Now, we're not going to be reviewing every single horror film out there. There's plenty of YouTube channels that do a fantastic job of that. We're not going to be delving into who wrote it, who directed it, who produced it. We are here to just give our raw, honest opinion right after we've watched the film to let you guys know what we think about these haunt-based horrors. And that's the only kind of genre we're going to be covering. We could go in and do every single horror film in the world, but like I say, there's plenty of YouTubers out there that do a fantastic job of that. We here at ScareTrack, we feel that we have been around or either worked in, created, or been through 500 plus scare attractions / haunted houses / escape rooms. So that's what we're going to be doing here at ScareTrack movie reviews. We will solely be reviewing with no notes, no background checks, no anything. Just straight after the film, we're going to be talking to the camera all about these haunt-based subgenre horrors. So, it's my first video. I'm a little bit nervous, but let's go. Let's talk about 2019's Haunt. So, I've just finished watching Haunt for the very first time, made in 2019. And like I said in the brief introduction to the series, I don't know who produced it, I don't know who wrote it, I don't know who directed it, but what I do know is that it was a bloody good film, really, really enjoyable. So the premise is very similar to other style American versions of Halloween / haunted house films. You got a bunch of high school teenagers that basically want to go out on Halloween and have a good time, and they come across a haunted house. They're driving through the street and they see it in big lit up letters. Now, this is very different to many other films we've seen in this subgenre. They seem to be very big fairground style events, similar to a Tully's Shocktoberfest here in the UK. This one was very different. It reminded me a lot more of a contained Liverpool style of attraction. It was kind of in the middle of nowhere in a sort of warehouse. There was no mass big entrance, there were no rides, there was no hundreds of people going around getting scared. It was a very different style of film compared to some of the other films in that subgenre. So this worked very, very well. It's made me extremely nervous to go into a scare attraction / haunted house this October. Usually in these kind of films, it's very fast-paced, it's very flashing lights, there's someone jumping out at you, there's someone following me, there's someone going to get me in this house. This was very different. They basically went up to this abandoned sort of warehouse, signed a waiver, which again feels very real for some of these attractions we've been through here in the UK, and then they go through into this haunted house, and as soon as they get in, I think they start realising that the actors aren't there just to scare you. They're there to hurt you, they're there to kill you. I don't want to give too many spoilers away about the film, but spoiler alert, some die. And it really made me on edge. Basically, throughout the film, you are seeing these sort of trap style rooms where people are getting branded, people are getting their heads spiked with a pipe. There's a fantastic scene where they're going through some crawl tunnels, which again is very much like a lot of haunts here. We have a lot of crawl tunnels here in the UK, and the crawl tunnels are basically, they get lost, they fall through them, they make the film very claustrophobic in that sort of scene. They've also made the film very unnerving. You are sat on the edge of your seat thinking, no, I do not want to go in there. And the only thing we are seeing are stuff that we would see in our regular haunts that we go through our scare attractions anywhere in the world. We'll see these kind of style rooms with loads of dummies and then there's one real actor, or we'll go through these crawl tunnels. We'll put our hands in a I'm a celebrity, get me out of here style hole. We don't expect to pull it out and it all to be sliced up. They are using extremely smart techniques to give us the scare. They're purely using what you would see in a real life haunt, but just making it feel so much more terrifying. I've been through 500 plus scare attractions now, and watching this film has made me not want to go in one ever again. It's terrifying. They have a scene which was really foreboding when you can see loads of arrows just pointing at this narrow little crawl space. Now, we've seen that before. We've seen that in our scare attractions here. But the sound of the chainsaw, again, a very popular choice of weapon when it comes to these kind of films, and of course, scary movies as well. It was terrifying to watch this scene. You were scared for anyone to go through it. Obviously, it's a horror. It's supposed to scare us. But this film, more than a lot of others I've seen about this subgenre kind of film, really got me on the edge of my seat, holding on to Hannah's arm, scared to watch it. You could really tell that the makers of this film knew the ins and outs of a haunt. They knew that what kind of things trigger people. They had another kind of scene where closer to the beginning where you could see what you would think is an actress basically getting murdered behind a glass wall. Now later on in the film you see your friend getting murdered in the same way. It basically just added the tension throughout the film and made it a really enjoyable watch. There's a couple of things that I weren't sure with it. There was a time where the lead character really sort of burnt her hand, or hurt her hands. 5 minutes later she was playing with her hands all the time. So a few little things, but again, spoilers at the end. You do find out who these people are. They take off their masks and they've morphed their faces. They've had surgery to make their faces either spiky or whatnot. We don't learn much about that, but I think that does open it up for either a prequel or a sequel, potentially to see why these people are like this or what they're going to do moving forwards. I think they could get a lot out of this film. I wasn't expecting loads going in. Some of these haunt subgenre films, they can be a bit hit and miss. This one I think was one of the best ones I've seen. It really was. It's exciting. It's definitely like on the edge of your seat style intriguing. It's done exactly what it's supposed to do. It's made me scared of haunts. Like, it is supposed to make you scared of clowns, or Texas Chainsaw Massacre is supposed to make you scared of a chainsaw wielding madman. This has made me scared to go back into a scare attraction. It was truly the sounds, the look of it, the whole atmosphere they've created on this film. You can tell that these filmmakers have done their homework and they've been through some haunts. So there we go. Haunt, 2019 film, gets a big thumbs up from me, and this was my straight out the gate, just watch the film, honest, blunt, cut, no notes review. I hope you've enjoyed it. Before we go, I want to give a thank you to our sponsors of this episode. UK Haunters is the first ever feature-length documentary about the UK haunt scene. So there we go. Thank you for watching this first mini ScareTrack movie review. Straight out the gate, just finished the film, no notes nonsense, all about exactly what I thought. about Haunt. Really enjoyable. I hope you guys watch it. It's available on Amazon Prime here in the UK. I think we rented it for $3.99, or you can buy it for $10.99, and obviously that'll be different from where you are watching this around the world. Be sure to check out the latest episode of the ScareTrack podcast. You can check that out on our website, scaretrack.co.uk. Just click the link below, and you can check out our Scarecam vlogs, our merch sales, our social media, and our Patreon, all in that link too. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.